stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll wait till they're finished. It's the alternative. All right, I'd like, please, for us all to take a moment of reflection for all of those who are giving so much of their lives every day to bring peace to our world and health to our precious environment. Thank you very much. Rita, roll call.
Mark D'Agostino.
Here.
Thomas Dewhurst.
Here.
Christopher Flynn.
Here.
Johanna Schaefer. Here. Virginia Stern.
Here. We have three very quick items to deal with as a town board at the very beginning. One is approving the abstracts, which you all have. It's abstract 7, which deals with which is approving general payments for the town for the past month, and abstract 7P, which is planning board payments from their escrow account. We can do those in one fell swoop, I believe. So I make a motion that we approve abstract 7 and abstract 7P. All those in favor? The next item on the agenda is approving the minutes from our June 10th, 2010 meeting. I make a motion that we approve them. We can second it, and then if there's any discussion, we'll have it then.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I would just like to say that I added in that small change that Mark D'Agostino wanted on page 5, second to last paragraph. I put in as recommended by the supervisor.
Where is this?
Second to last paragraph on page 5 of the June 10th minutes. At the end of Mrs. DeChilli's presentation, Councilman D'Agostino suggested that an audit of the tax collector also be looked into, and I put then as was recommended by the supervisor, rather than mentioned by the bookkeeper at the workshop. And I checked the tape.
All those in favor of accepting the minutes? Liaison reports. Chris?
It's working nights. I didn't go DBA. And we have Department A. They're talking now. Every other month having a meeting.
I have the minutes of the June 15th Master Plan Committee. And I'll paraphrase on some of these. The Greenway Compact Review, Ms. Hanlon explained that she sent a letter to Supervisor Stern requesting an all-committees meeting, and read the responses from which Ms. Stern indicated that a public hearing has been set for July 8, 2010. Committee members commented that they would like to get an indication of other board and committee views, would like information from other communities to be circulated, and voiced concern that their questions might not be fully addressed at a public hearing. Ms. Hanlon agreed to submit a letter to the town board with a list of master plan committee questions, which I know was, prior to the public hearing. And I believe that was also sent to the gentleman from the Greenway Compact, right? Okay. She asked that committee members submit questions to her prior to June 29th meeting. The RFP status, Ms. Hamlin indicated receipt of numerous questions regarding the budget for the RFP, and that the question and response is posted on the master plan's website. The response was that the RFP and associated documents are believed to be sufficient for the applicant to propose a budget. And that's really the gist of the meeting. They did have another meeting June 29th, but those minutes were not approved, so a little, they have to be approved first. And as far as the Recreation Committee, they're meeting next week, Wednesday.
This is for the CAC committee. They are looking at the Stanford Wildlife Preserve, and they're looking at the Whitlock Preserve. They're going down to mark out for trails to be mowed, so people can go down through the Stanford Preserve, and so they can get down through the water and just roam around. They have the Eagle Scouts who are doing birdhouses. They're going to refurbish a couple of bridges, and they are also going to make IDs for the trails to mark out where you should go and what's located down at the park. Down at the Whitlock Preserve, they have a nice little building there and it tells exactly what's down there as far as wildlife and everything. And that's about it.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Johanna?
The planning board met on June the 30th. They voted to close the public hearing on Divyanand until all the requirements are met, at which time they will have to re-advertise to the public and the hearing will be opened again. Bob, if I get anything wrong, I'm sure you can correct me on this. RPG development approval expires July the 29th, and they need to finish the things that they have to do by then. Davenport boundary line change was approved, and there'll be a public hearing July 28th. Is that correct? On the Delolio guest cottage. Burns family came for a trailer replacement, and they were referred to the town board. The planning board is also working on an applicant guide, which will make it easier for people applying to know what the steps are that they have to take. It should expedite the process, and that's still under review. Fire Commission met on June the 16th. They have discovered that their under buildings and grounds, the roof bids need to go out under prevailing wage. It is not considered an emergency, and they have to get prevailing wage for those bids. DEC has released the Fire Commission with complete compliance regarding the EnviroClean incident. When they took down their building, there was an old oil tank in the ground, and they have completely cleaned all of that up. Few problems with the motorized. Financially, they have met the requirement to get a report into the Attorney General and by May 1st, which they did. They completed their work at the rec pond. The Mill Lane Bridge group is waiting for further information from Ed Hoxie regarding a tank, an underground tank for water for fighting fires versus a second dry hydrant on the right-hand side of the pond. The chief's report: 10 fires, 6 automobile accidents, and 17 EMS calls. There was a discussion about the AEDs. I believe those are defibrillators. And the one at the wreck came up and seems to be reading error, and